guys, this is Chris, and I'm here with Paul Pantone. And in case you've never heard of him, well, we'll let him explain his story and the rest. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Paul, it's me, Chris.
Hello.
Yeah, you're on,
Yeah.
you're on, so welcome, Paul. Welcome to the show,
Yeah.
Paul.
We're getting a lot of static there.
Oh, I don't think it's from me, but I apologize. In case it was.
Okay. Well,
Yep. So
that's okay.
welcome to the show.
Ed.
How are you today, Paul?
Well, I'm pretty good.
Can you tell us a little about yourself? There's a bunch of stuff you told me off air. I won't say, but like the listeners, cause they don't know. Who is this guy Chris talking to? So as for listeners, so
Well, I'm an I'm an inventor, 65, 64 years old. I've done about 650 inventions. Everything from new little better ways to do stuff in building and sewing up to how to get zero pollution. So
wow.
that's about all fields.
And as far as the pollution, there's one video that says BP says no. Yeah, oh, we're gonna reduce pollution, everybody. You know, this PR tactics. We're gonna reduce pollution. But then you got your awesome idea. I've seen it. I've seen the documentaries and all this stuff. And you have the concept of that. Oh no, we cannot accept it because we don't want to lose our jobs. They'll tell you that. They're not gonna tell you that on the camera. But can you talk about before you continue, can you talk about GEET? I thought you founded the GEET.
Okay, well, the GEET International Institute was founded by me about 20 years ago. I started teaching people how to build it. I started working on it 37 years ago, and I've been building. It's a method of delivering vapor instead of liquid fuel to a furnace or engine, or diesel or gas engine, turbine engine, whatever you want to run, so that you can have zero pollution.
Wow, that's
By
awesome.
cleaning up the fuel and pre-aligning the structure, so by the time it gets to the chamber, it is a pure vapor that will ignite and burn or completely be used.
Wow, that sounds like an awesome idea for everybody to say no. And they care about the earth. So we got these environmentalists that are taking over real environmentalists. These are fake environmentalists. So they're like, oh, we care about the earth, so we're gonna promote carbon taxes. But then there's actually people I know that actually care about the environment and they would like your idea. It's just that they're a very small amount of people like that, and so the people on the top are actually taking over them. So
Well, of course, I thought I was going to be a hero in this country back in 1983. I started calling all the big organizations, Greenpeace, Sierra Club, Wilderness Club, all the good ones.
yeah.
Some of them, I took time when I was a kid to pick for them, along with all the other guys think like you and me of a clean planet. And it broke my heart when they all told me, one after another, we don't care about pollution. We don't care
It's an
about
agenda.
pollution.
It's only to tax
all we
money.
want is donation.
Of course. You know, we don't care about stuff. We don't care about the
It's all
environment.
about
So.
money. You went off. Are you there?
Yeah, it's you were like lagging or something.
What, are you there?
I don't know if I was lagging.
Okay, keep
So,
checking on me here, because
so you were saying that every one of them said no when you told them about your invention, which is and it's amazing. I've seen it. You know, no pollution, etc. Why would you say no to
well,
that?
they kept telling me no
Hmm.
because they're looking for donations.
Oh, money. Money talks. Money
It's
talks.
all money.
Wow. And you also Jeremy works with you. He's also I thought he was the founder, but he's actually the speaker for GEET.
No, he's one of the dealers.
Oh. And I've talked to him and
And now
off air, and he can verify what you're saying too.
he's oh yeah, he's been to the school. He's learned how to build them.
Oh.
He's having fun with them. The problem is government doesn't want it. So we have the ban from all public schools. GM, Ford, Chrysler, and all the big companies are allowed to go to Washington and demonstrate their new models. But I'm not.
Oh, that's unfair. You know.
Well, if you show up at a college, you're welcome there as long as you're a government company, a 501c3. There's certain people that are allowed there because you're playing their game and putting money in their pocket.
Mm. What about TED conference? Have you been those, or they won't allow you that either?
Yeah. I haven't been invited to a TED conference yet. I have been invited to conferences all over the world, and then they pull at the last minute. If they have anybody in the government there, they always say, "I'm sorry, we have to cancel your appearance."
Of course, because we don't want to be fired or anything worse. Oh man, this is unbelievable. Like that's so much suppression of energy, and like it really sickens me because like there's a bunch of, I see all these all these videos on how to run a car on anything besides gasoline, and I've been told that you can actually run a car. It could be on
Yep.
soda, pickle juice. Like we're not saying anything classified. You can look that up. It's all about like the science of it and chemicals
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm correct, right?
So I run engines on everything from battery acid to water, but it's illegal. You cannot put it in any car because you're screwing the government out of road tax. And they don't want to lose that road tax money. They'd rather have the pollution.
Oh yeah, and they claim they care about the environment. Before we do this, you had the disclaimer, so you're not responsible. We're not promoting anything illegal. So let's get that straight, right, Paul? Any disclaimers?
Oh yeah, nothing illegal. We're trying to let people know
Yeah,
that
it's just
Congress
basic
passed the
knowledge.
law
Research it.
back in 1951.
Yeah, National Security Act.
You're allowed to research, but
You can't actually try
it's
it.
all under national security.
And otherwise they would have the NSO on you. By the way, as far as the over unity and effectors, we'll get to later. But as far as the mileage, you can only put a car to 150,000. I've heard that off air, confirmed up to 150,000, but nothing past that. 120% effectiveness, nothing past that. 20% over unity, nothing past that. Am I right?
Yeah, well, I haven't heard those figures. What I've heard is if you get more than a 50% increase in mileage, you may have visitors in black suits.
Oh yeah, black helicopters. Yep, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got you. I
So,
hope
I
never
don't
have
like
to go
having
through
the
that.
black helicopters.
I hope I never have to go through
Right
that.
now, I don't know why I'm barely able to hear you.
Oh well, Paul, try just
So,
audio. I don't know if it's the camera. If you want, just try the audio. Like I don't have a webcam, so
Oh,
yeah, just try the audio part of the. Okay. Can you hear
okay.
me?
Are you there?
Yep. Perfect. I think it was the picture. It was like
No,
lagging
still-
because like I don't have
you're
an internet camera.
getting feedback.
Oh, I don't know. It could be that, or the NSA is like spying on us. I've been told that by a few people. Oh, NSA is listening to our conversation, so that could be it. Yeah, that could be
They
it.
listen to everything. So
Yeah,
that's
they're listening to
about-
all us. We're not promoting anything illegal. And on the contrary, yeah, I know I care about I care about people. I care about people's family. I want there to be a future for everybody. So we're not promoting anything bad. Why don't you spy on Kissinger, Soros, or Rockefeller? Not us. But no, because they call the shots. So and as far as
you
the
got it.
what? That's
So
not,
go ahead.
I know. So like that's not gonna happen because they call the shots. Soros calls the shots. So they're scumbags to just suppress you like this. And real crimes is like nothing happened, And people are risking their lives with this. Like it's very hard for you to talk to people. I'm risking my life technically for probably talking to you, but Hey, Alex Jones does it. He's a huge influence for me. And you haven't been on Alex, but you've heard of him. So I get you told me that it would be impossible for you to be on his show or something like. It's just so sad, man.
There are a lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of shows. I've tried to be on a lot of different shows, and I might get on one show once in a while and get 5 or 10 minutes into it, and then I'm told the satellite went out, the computers went out.
Oh yeah, satellite went out.
Everything, all these that could possibly go wrong.
Yeah.
Always goes out when I'm on their show.
The moon is made out of cheese too, you know. So just get it off your shoulder, you know. Just don't let it bother you, man. Don't let it personally. Because back then I was a non-believer myself, and I'm like, if for real there's a generator, you could actually do this, and I'm like, no. But then I realized that there was so much suppressed energy, and the stuff that they teach about the schools, which are Rockefeller run as far as the universities go, and probably the one I'm in. So like, it's very hard. People won't learn it. And Common Core, Indiana is one of the only states that could drop Common Core, but nobody follows. The media does not even touch that one. It's just sad. It's just very sad.
Nope. Well, many states now are getting upset with it. They're teaching things that really are not socially acceptable in the Christian community. I'm glad now my children are already raised, and I don't have to go through all that. I'd probably end up in jail.
You think they're gonna end up in jail?
No, I think I would. If they tried to teach my kids some of the garbage they're teaching kids today, I would be in there being very upset.
I get you. Like, we're not trying to put any violence, but I get what you're trying to say. And this is the video that started. Who was this guy, Paul Pantone? And so this is the video itself. It was a news story.
Utah inventor Paul Pantone has developed what he calls the GEET fuel processor, a plasma generator similar to a super carburetor that actually appears to run on 80% water and is entirely non-polluting.
This device replaces the carburetor and exhaust and combines them in one unit.
On U.S. patent. Somebody even told me not
whereas
to
this
give
end of it
your
acts as a
invention
miniature
or idea
refinery,
to patent all
allowing
because the
the
government technically owns your stuff. So they told me like not to do it. I don't know. That's just a recommendation. So like, and you never thought that your life would be upside down. What?
After going through what I have, I wouldn't recommend anyone. I would tell anyone out there looking with an invention that deals with energy, do not get publicity. Do it by word of mouth and get the numbers up. But keep in mind that if one person starts putting it on the internet, you will be attacked.
As far as that, you said that about publicity. Sometimes high publicity is good for other things, etc. Some people have told me, like, just put the information out there. Don't make money off of it. Just put it out there anonymously somehow. Do you think that could work? Because I'm sure people who are listening might know what we're talking about.
No. If I would have given away the technology back in 1983, GE, General Motors, any major corporation, or even the own government could go in and patent it and then stop me from giving it away and suing me for giving it away if they got a patent before I did.
Damn.
So your protection from the patent office is not there anymore.
Oh, man. But couldn't you just get it online somehow? Just give it up to upload things online? Just don't make money off it and don't talk to the patent office.
A lot of people that put stuff up there, the government will counter it. They'll put things up there saying, if you try this, it may blow up. It'll burn your house down. It's dangerous.
Yep, that's what they say about iodine.
That publicity, you can't come up with it. Governments hire people that come out of college as statisticians. A statistician is a person that can find anything good by manipulating the numbers and saying, 1% of the population likes black. So we're going to say that we only spoke to that 1% of the population, and 100% of the population loves black. Or green.
That reminds me of when they alter the data for as far as the climate, and the climates for over like 200 years or 500 years, they would alter that and make it look like, as far as the hockey stick theory from Al Gore, good old Al Gore. So he would, as if global warming is real, we got to do something about it. Meanwhile, he lives in mansions and all that. And we are forced to give up our property, give up our sovereignty, etc.
Yeah, well, how about the president of Greenpeace flying around in his own private jet? Him being alone on that plane when he flies somewhere uses more fuel than anything else he could be doing. But does he really care about pollution?
No. There's very few people that do care about pollution. Very few people care. And I know some people that believe in climate change, which in general, climate change, it's real. It's just not caused by us. You know, the things are always changing, but it's just that the global warming thing and how they interpret it is false. But the Earth is always changing, and some stuff stayed constant.
Yes, and we're going through a polar flip right now, where the North and South poles are flipping.
Oh yeah,
now,
it's really cold right
I'm
now.
not a mind reader. I don't know where it should be tomorrow. But everybody where I'm living here is saying they've never seen it 20 below zero. I'm in Kentucky. Last night, my bedroom got down to 42 degrees. Yet today, the temperature up in Alaska is 44.
Wow. That's unbelievable. And here it's like really
cold.
So
if we're getting the coldest temperature.
Here it's really cold. It feels like it's like degrees below zero, even though it's like 20, 30 something.
Yep. Yeah, we probably get up to that later this week, but only for one day.
Wow.
And yet, I just read it on YouTube News, not YouTube, Yahoo News, that people in Florida know that the water level is rising, and it is in many parts of the world where either the land is sinking or the water is rising. So this has been going on for thousands of years. You're not going to change the earth from happening.
It just happens because it is. It's not. You're not gonna change people. You're not gonna change people. But here we have to sacrifice our infrastructure. China builds more factories. We shut down our factories. See how stupid this is? The people who are running the country are looting the country, gutting the country, making it to third world, police state, etc. And that's sad because it's your own country, and the government doesn't give a damn.
It's not just our country. I'm not welcome in Mexico. I'm not welcome that much in Canada and other countries. They really don't like the idea of people running on water or different fuels. They want to make money off gasoline.
What about countries that don't like the U.S.? I've asked this question before off air. Sure. What about countries like that are not a fan of U.S. politics, like Iran or Russia, or even countries that are run by dictatorships?
Russia has some countries that have approached me are interested only for the government to own and use, not for the public. If they can replace 100% of the oil and gas they use and keep that money and put it in their pocket, they'd rather do that. They're not going to lower your taxes.
That's unbelievable. But what about
taxes never go down; they go up.
And the tax is going for the bankers and everybody else that runs the country, not what you think it is. You may work on the local level or governor level, but not in the national level. Come on.
Well, let's start in maybe 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade. Let's remove debate classes from school curriculum. Who sponsors those? Normally, those are sponsored by government people and by attorneys. They're looking for good, qualified people to recruit. Anyone that can stand up and say abortion is good on Monday, and Tuesday they can get up and argue just the opposite, that it's bad. You're willing to do whatever you're told to do for that dollar.
Yep.
You're the kind of guy or girl they want.
And the worst part,
you don't care about the truth.
Yep, and the worst part about it is some people out there would probably sell their grandmother for $1 or anybody else. That's how sick these people can get. By the way,
Yep.
can you talk about this?
So you have. Go ahead.
Wait. What were you gonna say?
Go ahead, Chris.
No, you were about to say something. I was
I'm
gonna
going to tell you. As long as you start allowing the training of brainwashing to begin in grade school and continue the entire life, what they're doing is right.
Oh wow! So
they don't know any better.
And people are sheep though. Like it took like 50, 60 years for to damage the country. You know, since the country threw the overboard. But now it's gonna take even longer for let's say we get out this new world order to repair the damage it caused, to bring people enlightenment. It's gonna be a long shot. Some people I've talked to, they say, "Oh, Chris, it's not gonna happen. People don't care." All people think of as sports entertainment.
That's it. Well, in this country and most countries, yeah. Let's just not worry about it.
Why? Exactly. Because
well, no, if you're in America,
it may not seem important, but if the country's in the road police state.
Well, a lot of people are happy as long as they, quote, think they have freedom, and they can still go to work every day and go home to their family.
Yeah, people think it's my country.
They have freedom.
Yeah, people think they think they own the country. I'm serving my country. No, you're serving a Zionist, globalist, New World Order regime. You're not it's not U.S. It's U.S. It was somewhere in the compromise was 1871, and that was a law, and it made the U.S. a corporation. You could look this up, guys, if you're listening. I'm not making this up. U.S. became a corporation.
Yeah. Right.
Yep. The District of Columbia.
As long as it's a corporation, it's going to want money.
Yep.
It needs money for its people.
And it's independent.
You're not its people. You're its slaves.
Yeah, it's independent, though, the agencies. The Federal Reserve is not American. It's not federal because it's not American. It's owned by offshore banks, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, everybody else who works for them. It's not reserve because there's no gold there left. We got out the gold standard. And some story on Switzerland, supposedly, the parliament members were killed in broad daylight, and Switzerland gave up the gold standard months later. I don't know if that's true. And somebody said, oh, the story happened, but you can't find it on Google. But Google does not remove pages. Or I'm not sure. Come on, where are the odds that could have happened? That could have happened.
I would say that. I would not argue that one. Too many times I've looked at an article, and when I go back to look at it, 10 minutes later, it's not there anymore.
Oh. It's up to people to research
when I do the Google Maps. There were several things I used to show people during my class because I teach science, and I would pull up Google Maps and show them, look what's happening here in Antarctica, and then all of a sudden that map is missing. Here's a big landing strip in Greenland. Oh, it's not there anymore. Oh, look at this. It's a submarine location. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not there.
Evidence. Any sort of evidence that they're just manipulating it over and over, and then it makes people look stupid because, oh, I can't see that what you're showing there, but I know it. I've seen it there. I show you a photograph. No, it's not there anymore. The map won't show it. Well, I don't run Google Maps.
Yep.
People blame you. I don't run Google Maps. Does it look like I run Google Maps? You know?
Well, I don't know if your grandmother has a set of books she had around from the old encyclopedias. But if you come across a 1950 to 1955 encyclopedia, in 1955, they still had the American Vacuum Society. There were hundreds of pages on Tesla in the encyclopedia. There was all kinds of knowledge in there that was all removed.
Yep. And you probably can't find it much online, can you?
Why would you want to remove it?
Because they want to suppress Tesla. His career was destroyed by J.P. Morgan. That pisses me. I love Tesla, but they killed his career.
And a lot of other people.
You know, they killed it. They killed his career. And I don't know what happened to this. Some of his inventions, his labs were destroyed. Some of his inventions were sent to Yugoslavia, and Yugoslavia is now made a bunch of countries, so you don't know, God knows where those documents are, and some people can't even remake the invention.
Well,
I don't know if the government has it or has. I think they gave up most of it. They didn't care about it anymore, or they have still some of it, but I don't know.
No,
I really don't know.
No, the government doesn't have much. The government doesn't have much, and I'm not telling anybody where it is.
You don't know. You don't know.
Yes, I do.
Oh? Oh. No, yeah.
I've had people all over the world call me up and tell me they have this, they have that, and I've told them keep it. Keep it hidden. Yeah. I'll let you know when to bring it forward.
Yeah, the New World Order is still infiltrating this country. You might not want to come to it. Some people, I try to get it's so dangerous that I try to get them on, like Hodor Turferson, you know, the guy who led the Icelandic Revolution. He's not gonna come to the U.S. because the country's being a freaking police state. They would arrest him if he came here. And the media is so freaking stupid that they wouldn't cover that. They could freaking torture the guy and they're not gonna cover it. No one's gonna know. That pisses me off.
Nope. No, when I was tortured in Utah, they wouldn't even cover that in the newspaper. When my wife was poisoned right in my living room, they refused to cover it in any magazine, newspaper.
Wow.
It wasn't newsworthy.
Huh. Wait, so
nothing that I do is newsworthy.
Shit, newsworthy. Yeah, and I've seen these inventions. Yeah, newsworthy. Yeah, sports is more newsworthy than what you're doing, which is you're risking your life to do it. It's real science. Yeah. It's unorthodox stuff. Come on. So you actually watched them poison your wife? That is so despicable. They actually did that to you.
No, I didn't watch it. I found my wife downstairs. I was asleep, and when I came downstairs, she was in a coma.
Did she come out of it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
She was sicker than a dog for weeks, but yeah.
Wow.
We even knew who poisoned her, and the cops wouldn't do a damn thing about it.
Of course, because the cops are afraid. And even if everybody had guns, like in Switzerland, it'd be very hard. And they want to take away the guns as well. They want to force inoculation, you know. By the way, what I was saying before,
I talked to many doctors. Go ahead.
No, what were you saying? I talked to, I was thinking governors. What were you going to say? Governors. But I don't know.
No, well, I talked to governors. I talked to doctors. Everybody has the political right thing to say of, I want to clean up pollution. Will you endorse what I'm doing? No. Will you help me get news coverage? No.
It's an illusion, you know.
Why? I don't want to lose job. That's it.
They don't want to get in trouble or worse.
They talk about.
See, and people still freaking vote. People still think that voting they think that voting makes a difference. This country's being hijacked. That's what I don't get. I'm like losing it. You know, the country's hijacked and you still think that the left or right makes a difference. You still think that the 2016 elections is going to make a difference. It's going to be the same freaking agenda.
No.
And people do not realize that. That is so... the country is going to the country's going down the toilet. And no one could say anything. We have Facebook and YouTube. I'm surprised some of your videos, they haven't taken it down. Some of it I can still find about plasma. And people, that doesn't go viral. It's unbelievable.
Well, because the government has too many negatives. The government has too many negative things up there. People don't want to believe in anything other than MIT and Harvard
and MIT and Harvard. They probably have a heart attack when they look at you. They probably have white face when they look at you. Oh, Paul Pantone, tell them I'm busy. That's what they'll probably give you if you go to MIT or Harvard, right?
Well,
or you're not allowed there either.
No, I'm not allowed on campus.
Oh boy.
No, I met in 1995. United Nations had a conference in Las Vegas. It was supposed to be about clean air. Well, I showed up, and I had about 8 things to demonstrate, and we showed them how to run an engine on Mountain Dew and pickle juice. If they wanted to, they could eat tea in the jar. I didn't care. And we took the whole conference by surprise when we showed that you could have zero pollution. And all these guys from Russia and Ukraine, all over Europe, they were all saying, well, it looks like you're going to win first prize. When we went back into the building, the Monte Carlo Hotel, they canceled the rest of the conference.
Oh, man.
I destroyed their conference. Never be allowed at another conference.
How deep in this rabbit hole can you go? Like, for real. What you're telling me, the listeners may be like, oh, this guy is crazy. But no, you haven't gone through that. It's being suppressed, being told to shut up. Yeah, that's a nice idea, Chris. Move on. That really boils my blood. I don't know if I'm exaggerating, but still.
Well, if you want to see how bad the torture is, go to the website www.GEET, it's GEETfriends.net. You'll see me with all my teeth drilled out.
Oh.
My teeth were in perfect condition before I was arrested. And in 3.5 years, I lost every tooth in my head. I went from being extremely healthy and being able to play volleyball or basketball 3 hours a day to being able to sit in a wheelchair.
Oh. I see a bunch of...
Was there any American support? No. Very little. We only had about 5 people in this country trying to help me get out.
Wow. And it was in the, Utah State Hospital. You said there was pictures, right, of this that happened?
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Oh, yeah. It's up on the website.
On the site? You said GEET Friends?
GEETfriends.net.
So there's a lot of links. Where do you click to see the pictures? I see home, about, news, science, experimenters.
Prosecution. I went through 13 crooked attorneys.
And they sold out on
13 of them.
They sold out.
The Attorney General's office kept hiring my attorneys. They hired my attorneys or they threatened them. So even my own attorney stood up in the courtroom after stealing or taking almost $40,000. He stood up in the courtroom and said, Your Honor, I do not represent Paul Pantone. I represent the court.
That freaking scumbag. He actually said that?
Yes, it's on tape. All the tapes are hooked to that website. He also said the Constitution of the United States of America does not have any grounds inside my courtroom. I am the law.
And these
you have no Bill of Rights.
And these people are
you have no rights.
These people are still they still have a job. They're not fired. You fire his butt.
I fired my attorney. The judge said I won't let you.
And no media covered that. I think that could have gone viral. They'd probably be like, hey, leave this guy alone. He may sound nuts, but leave this guy alone. I don't think he did any crime. You didn't do any crime. Did you murder someone? Did you steal anything? Did you rape anybody? No.
No, the only thing they could get me on was they said since what I claimed I could do was not found in any current science book, it must be delusional.
And you can actually see the generator.
I had to go in for psychiatric evaluation.
And it's,
Say that.
Wow, and I was gonna get to that. Can you talk about like how that happened when it comes to they found out about you and you eventually got to the Utah State Hospital? It's owned by a corporation, so neither of us know who runs it.
Oh. No, I tried to find out while I was there. I watched another patient get murdered. He was put into a coma by being beat by another patient. And instead of prosecuting him, they told him to go to his room for the day.
Wow.
Hold on just a second. I'm on the radio, so call me back on that one. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I
I'm sorry.
I hope
where were we?
we're persecuting you.
Oh, called the FBI and the local police. Provo Police Department showed up with the FBI, and they sat there and told me they had no legal jurisdiction to even come into that building.
What?
They were given permission to come in and talk to me just to shut my mouth because it was a foreign country that owns mental hospitals and prisons.
And which country would that
be? They can do anything to you they want, and they cannot be prosecuted.
Something about the American Bar Association that's owned by somewhere in England. Or something like that. I've been told off air. I don't know if that's the case. Oh, it is? That's treason. Like, wouldn't that be treason in a way?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well,
and you were there for so
many
years.
To be a judge in a courtroom with a gold frame. The law said they could only hold me for 1.5 years, and they held me for 3.5 years. And the only thing they ever asked is if I would just sign my copyrights and patents over to the government, the state of Utah, then they would put me out of my misery.
But you didn't do that, because that means selling your invention, all your life's hard work.
I like being in pain.
So when
I'd rather be in pain. Thank you.
When you said no, that means that they just like, okay, you're not gonna sign. He doesn't want to sign, guys. So they're back to the room. See, that's probably what they told you, right? It's despicable, really.
Yep.
And there's no coverage on this on the news. So I wish, I don't know, what could the listeners do? Just say, oh, wow. Yo, some guy named Paul Pantone, I heard some radio show.
Go to that website.
Like, they're not going to believe me. But, like, I hope people are listening and they could.
Go to that website.
What?
If they go to that website, they can see it.
Oh, yeah.
If they want to copy things off of it and put it up on their website, hook up links. Let the public know that we have a bunch of thieves running the court system.
Oh, yeah.
And the attorneys working for the court system don't work for you.
They
only work for the court.
Oh, man. That is so horrible. And so what did it take for you to be free? You said some congressman, you didn't want to name who, but like some congress people. How did you get free?
No. Senator Chris Butters stepped in and started an investigation. When I told him about the murder, I told him about the abuse, I told him about the abuse of drugs, and the fact that people working there were doing the drugs.
Wow. And so what did that
So an investigation was started. When the hospital realized it was going to get exposed, they released me.
Oh, yep. Catch-22 there. If they kept you there, we're in trouble. If they let you go, you won, attaboy, Paul. Wow. So it was him, Chris, some guy Rudders. I never heard of him, but like I never heard of him. But like,
Butters. Chris Butters was a senator in Utah. Wow. Not all congressmen and senators are bad.
Oh, they're good people.
Some of them really don't know what the hell's going on.
Of course. There's this guy, Trey Gowdy, I've been told off air that, you know, he's going to head the hearings for Benghazi and let Hillary have it. And don't try to go after him. Don't try to go after him because he's high profile and we'll know who it was. You know? The media's going to know. It takes something, you know, to wake people up. It has to be. What does it have to be? Forced inoculations, a race war? What did it have to take to get people to wake up? What will it take?
Well, my favorite. When you know you got the card stacked against you when the cops say the reason they shot you is you were armed. And everybody looking is going, he doesn't have a weapon. No, he had a right arm and a left arm. He was armed.
Yeah, but in case of any last resort, I would like to have guns and a bunch of other people. You'll be surprised. Like even like they probably wouldn't say on air, but like they're preparing. Some people are like trained like how they train like let's say a paintball or something. They're preparing for any crisis or anything happens. They have their guns, etc. They're very pro gun. I love guns, but I don't own one at the moment. But someday I will. But they're very prepared. They have training facilities all over there. They're preparing. whether it's preparing to live in underground nuclear silos, they're preparing. And the people who run the country, they're gonna get out of this country because
the problem I have.
What?
Okay, I have a problem with some of the people who are armed or being trained because they haven't got enough brains to come in out of the rain. So if you hand them a gun and you have an argument with them an hour later, they're liable to shoot you.
Oh yeah, that's why you have to be careful of. Background checks is always good.
Yeah. So having people with guns isn't a good idea sometimes. I think people do need to have training. There should be a test given that you're not on any kind of drug that might affect your thinking. There's a lot of people that really shouldn't carry weapons.
Oh yeah. By the way, I get influenced by the Switzerland. Switzerland, there's like 8 million people and everybody's armed. They train you. They give you a bunker. They give you all kinds of stuff to prepare for you. Some people have like a anti. Some people have like a cannon or something at their backyard. Some people have a bunker. Well, actually, everybody does.
Yep.
They have all kinds of. They have gas masks. They have assault rifles. Some people even. I saw 2 girls in a picture, and a bunch of other people. They carry assault rifles as if it's like carrying a backpack. You know.
Yeah.
But why don't they
riding
do that
their
here?
bicycle?
Why don't they do that here? You know, it's not just Texas that could do this. Texas they do this, but I think that it should all 50 states should have guns. The crimes will lower. Very few people in where I'm in that they have guns. Yep. They're very demonized. You know.
Yep.
You know, it's like.
Well, here you have with many people that have been on psychotic drugs, and they're dangerous. If you let them have guns too, which they're going to have, then you've got to worry about how many lunatics are there out there, besides the ones with badges.
I was thinking of a guy named Charles Sprinkle. I don't know if you've heard of him. And he would carry item of bull's testicles in his car dangling. He would carry a rifle, and he couldn't get ticketed. I am not joking. He never carried a license. He never carried a license plate. He never got he couldn't be ticketed. He sued Reagan and a bunch of other people. He could not get ticketed. And if the cop would give him problems, he would just warn them. And if the cop wanted to shoot him, he would get his gun out. He did not give it to him. I don't know if you heard of him, but
yeah,
you have.
Well, I've known people like that. Some of them can get away with it for years, and others, the cops just have all they can take. They bust your windows, pull you out of the car, handcuff you, and haul you to jail. When I was in the Salt Lake County Jail for 3 months waiting to go to the hospital, I asked everybody in there what they were in for. And Salt Lake, or Utah area, doesn't have more than maybe 0.5% to 1% black people. Why was over half the people in that jail black? It's a way to get them out of there. Throw them all in jail. When they get out, they're going to leave. There were maybe 3 out of every 60 that were white. The rest of them were blacks or Mexicans. And what were most of them in there for? They had a pencil or a pen within their reach. So if you were in a car and there was a glove box with a pen in it, that's a possible forgery instrument. So they can hold you for 6 months without a hearing.
There's also secret trials where you could be found guilty and not know it. But.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these guys were held for 6 months, then released, no charges, everything dropped, even given their pencils back in some cases.
Speaking of that guy, Butters,
yeah.
How wasn't that guy persecuted in a way? Because he's a congressman, he helped you out. I thought they would actually go after him. Did he become how was he able to do that without being persecuted? Help you.
He never got reelected.
Oh yeah, killing somebody politically. They do that to Jesse Ventura.
No.
They can't kill him, but they could kill his political career.
Easy.
You
can do that electronically.
Of course.
Just make sure none of the votes get credited to him. All his votes go to somebody else.
They don't let the source code. You ask for the source code, they're not going to give it to you. Huh. It's rigged. There's a bunch of videos of rigged voting machines. But nobody gets in trouble. What would happen if you or me tried to do that? That's like we'd be like in 5, 10, or even more years in prison if we tried to do that. But what if the government tries to do that?
Well, I was joking with a guy the other day, and he called me while I was talking to you just now. I'm going to call him back. He remembers his grandpa telling him about the mafia days in Chicago, and that great hero, the American hero called Joseph Kennedy, and how he used to bring back all that booze from Canada. Half of it went to the mafia, the other half went to Washington, D.C. He was a Canadian citizen. Now, why did Joseph Kennedy become an American citizen? Well, because he got kicked out of Canada.
I wonder why.
Why are we raising hell about Obama not being an American when Kennedy wasn't an American? Was he?
No, he was born in Canada. He's Canadian, but he became American citizen.
No, he was given American citizenship.
Oh.
It's who you know.
Wow.
But the history books don't at all.
Of course, the history books are written by winners. That was Napoleon's quote.
Got it. You got that right.
Yeah, and
you
you're
get
not
to write
about
the book
Operation Paperclip
where you want.
Either. A bunch of others.
It's like all these years we thought we had UFOs. Are they government planes?
A UFO crashed in
Are
New
they
Mexico.
German? Are they Russian?
In New Mexico, a UFO crashed. That's the Roswell. They're hiding a UFO that crashed. What's the debate about aliens? Aliens exist. They just don't wanna. They don't wanna come near us, probably, because we're too unfriendly. I like aliens personally, but they basically want to hide a UFO. Well, I'm not stupid. They're hiding a UFO. When they're gonna release that info, I don't know. They're still classified. A UFO crash. We hit it. Shh. What else is there to it?
Well, if they tell you the car that just hit somebody was red, and enough people say it was red, it's red. Oh, it's like if you watch the 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
The planes hitting the towers. I've watched those videos so many times, I have to laugh sometimes. It's sad, but let's go back to 1968, when my father had a friend come in. And his friend told me that in the future, a plane would be hijacked by military people. And he was asked if he wanted to jump out of a plane.
What?
And he said no. And I said, why the hell would the military want to hijack a plane? He said, well, we're trying to control drug traffic in the United States. And if we hijack a plane, then we put in money counters at the airport, people are going to think they're metal detectors.
Of course.
And we already have them built.
People don't have critical thinking. They'll if you give them enough money, they'll say whatever you're talking about. It could be you could be blatantly lying. Sure, we'll buy it. Just give us some money. It's lobbying. It's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You could bribe people so many ways. You give them, let's say, 50 channels of whatever, and people actually side with you. You know?
Yep. So, yeah, I hear about it every day. I've met some of the people that were behind it. I also met an engineer. They used to work at Boeing Aircraft up in Everett, Washington. And his job, 2 years before the first plane was hijacked, was he was designing a control device so that all commercial planes with 12 passengers or more would have this new control device that if the plane ever got more than 7 miles off course, it would be automatically taken over by military. All control of the plane would be military control. So were any of the planes that hit the Twin Towers more than 7 miles off course? Yes, they all were.
The military could have probably stopped this. The attack could have been stopped. There's a bunch of people that warned the U.S. government, actually. Somebody from Iran. Your country's gonna be attacked. Yeah. Hang off the phone. They didn't care about that. Dick Cheney told DARPA to stand down. What?
Yeah.
He told him to stand down. He gave the orders to
stand
down.
I heard that. Repeatedly.
Yeah. Come on, and Saudi Arabia engineered the whole
London.
thing.
In London, all people are taxed for the BBC broadcasting, and you will pay that tax. It'll be added right to your income tax, and you have to pay that television tax to entitle you to be able to listen to the British Broadcasting Corporation while they broadcast lies and bullshit, just like America. Recently, a man took them to court, and in the courtroom, he pointed out that he did not want to pay the tax because it was based on lies. And he only showed one clip. The clip he showed was BBC with a woman reporter with the Building 7 behind her saying, Building 7 just came down. It happened 30 to 40 minutes before the building came down.
Wow.
The court sided with him. He is the first person in England to beat the system and avoid that tax. Because he proved in court that the news was a lie.
Tony Rook? It says big victory. UK
no,
man wins
I didn't get the guy's name.
That has to be Tony Rook. UK man wins court case against BBC for 9/11. I think that's the guy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
We have an historic.
Here in this country, you don't want to sue CBS or NBC or ABC because you already know you can't win.
There have so many lawyers.
It's going to take you a long time. It's cheaper for them if you file a suit just to pay you off and shut you up, and then not give you coverage.
And that's what happened to Hoxie. I've talked to people off air. Yeah, Hoxie was trying to fight the medical establishment, but that didn't succeed. Hopefully, in Mexico, hopefully someday we'll hear again. But Mexico, they have clinic over there. So fortunately, Mexico, I hope they can only stay there.
Well, yeah. A lot of places have relocated to Mexico, and then they end up getting kicked out. It just depends on who the politician is talking to what politician down there. If they can get the right leverage, they can get anything in their favor.
And including going after you, so that means there's something about sleeper cells all over the world, and no matter what country you go to, I've been told this off air, that they could actually hunt you down.
Oh yeah.
How is that?
Yeah, we had a woman came to me and she was trying to get away. Well, she was trying to get away from me, and she's a Mormon, and she begged me for some help, and I helped her get a car. I didn't even know the license plate number on it. I gave her some money, and she disappeared from Salt Lake City. A few days later, she got up to Seattle, Washington, rented a house under a different name, and the first day she was in the house, two boys knocked on the door saying, "Hi, we know you're here. We just want to let you know the church knows right where you are at all times."
What the? What? When she want to leave the country?
Where do you go? There's Mormons everywhere in the world.
Two boys they tracked her down? What the heck? And so what did she do?
She decided to shut her mouth and go back to her husband because she was afraid he would have her killed.
Wow. It reminds you of that lady,
So when you say freedom, what is freedom to you?
there to be a Bill of Rights, a constitution, not being suppressed. That's a bunch of parts what I think freedom is.
Well,
that's what it should be.
My feeling on what freedom was as a kid has changed a lot. After spending 3.5 years behind bars for something I didn't do, I wake up now and I get up and I do what I want, but do I safe? No, I think I was safer in prison at times than I am out on the street.
Why in prison?
At least in there, nobody was trying to screw with me for being inventive and creative. Nobody there cared. Out here, too many people don't like the idea of good mileage.
You know, and it's perfectly legal if you put it to 150,000, but no more, right?
No, I don't know where that 150,000 is.
It's not 50%.
You can only get a 50% increase.
Oh, 50%. So how much miles would that be?
Yeah. Well, depends on how many miles you drive. If you're getting 10 miles an hour now, or 10 miles per gallon, you're allowed to get 15.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to feel sick to your stomach, get on a search engine and look it up. Cars that cannot be sold in America. The list is huge. Every time a new company comes out and they can get better mileage or a longer distance on a charge, their doors are shut.
Wait, so where are these cars in? Oh, it's mostly some of them Canadians. So Canadians.
Yep.
Well, but Canada, in a way, is still in the New World Order. It's like every country is like in the New World Order, practically. Iceland is one of the only. Iceland and Russia and Iran are one of the only. In Cuba and North Korea, they're one of the only few countries that are not in the not in the New World Order. But I still fear for Iceland because since Iceland, most likely they could see they could invade Iceland. You can invade Iceland probably more easier than Russia. Russia is always gonna mess with Russia, but Iceland, that's where Putin's gonna have to step in. Like I'm not lionizing Putin. I like Putin.
Yep.
Believe it or not, I don't know how you feel about him. I like Putin.
Yep.
I have no problem. Iran hasn't done anything to me. I don't have. I wish I could go to Iran and Russia.
I have no problem with President Putin. He seems like a very ballsy guy. I feel sorry for the people right now that are being punished because of his problems in Ukraine. I think those are personal problems, and I don't think we should be involved in their business.
But no, you don't call the shots.
We've been a big bully on the block.
Very few people call the shots. Soros got us into that Ukraine in the first place. He wants to attack Russia. He wants war with Russia. I am not joking.
Yep.
I'm not making this up. Soros wants war with Russia. He brags that he's behind the Ukraine conflict. He brags. He thinks you're all stupid. He thinks you're all stupid. I started the Ukraine conflict. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? He's a freaking billionaire. You know? He's not going to go to prison. And Kissinger also calls shots here. These guys aren't going anywhere, you know?
Nope. But each country has a certain pledge. And a lot of that now with NSA and photoshopping, I can get a picture of you, and I could have you with a girl, a dog. I can make it look like anything I want.
Oh, yeah.
And then tell you, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to make this public.
Oh.
And under the threat, which is the only way a government can operate when it's illegal, is under a threat of, I'm going to convict you on this. And we're good at that. We lie so much as a country that the country has bullied everybody into what they want.
Even people who
doesn't have to be real.
And that not only that and besides the Clintons and the Bushes, they were involved in pedophilia and rape. That's actually not classified. That's actually true. You could look it up. There was one guy they bombed the plane he was in, Gary Caradori, because he exposed the FBI most likely killed him. He exposed that Bush was involved with raping, being a pedophile. A newspaper, Washington Times.
Yeah.
And look what happened to him. And Bill Clinton, the media won't cover it. There's actually a bunch of articles that say Bill Clinton actually raped a bunch of women. They're coming out. No coverage. Only local media. These people do whatever they want behind the scenes. So they could do all kinds of satanic stuff. They could have sex with anybody or anything, no matter what age. And they're bullied. So Obama or Bush, you know, you're gonna have sex with this person. They're very younger than you. If you don't do what we say, we're gonna post that, and then you're gonna get in trouble. That's how it works.
Yep.
And so not only that, I've been told off air, high level, and that they could also put pornography. They could put child pornography in your computer. If you don't do what they say, people are gonna think you're a pedophile, even though you didn't have those pictures. They can set you up.
Yep. Almost every inventor I know that is in prison now has gone to prison for drugs. They don't do drugs, but the drugs were found in their home in every case. Isn't that amazing?
What's proof of the drugs? There's no proof. Shut up. That's what they tell you.
Well,
there's no drugs. If he doesn't do drugs, unless they put drugs there.
Say it was there. It's their word against yours, and they work for the court.
The kangaroo court. Yep. That reminds me of.
We have figured it out. Go back to bed, America. Your government has figured out how it all transpired. Go back to bed, America. Your government is in control again. Here's American gladiators. Watch this. Shut up. Go back to bed, America. Here's American gladiators. Here is 56 channels of it. Watch these pituitary retards bang their skulls together and congratulate you on living in the land of freedom. Here you go, America. You are free to do as we tell you. You are free to do as we tell you.
He got it. Is there anything inaccurate from that? No, he got the whole thing. Paul, you there?
Yeah.
I don't know. You got cut off.
Yeah.
It's just lag. I don't know.
Oh, I thought the show was over.
No. I don't mind it being more than 1 hour. You know, it's pre-recorded. It's not even live. But what I was showing is Bill Hicks that, you know, go back to bed, America. The government's in control. Yeah, we're still in bed.
Oh, okay.
The American dream exists, but you have to be asleep to believe it. That's quoting George Carlin. You know?
Okay. Yep.
So, not only that, or not besides cars not allowed in America, there's also a documentary called Power, Documentario History Channel, which I didn't believe. I apologize for being upset, for you being upset. Jeremy showed me the link and I saw it. You know, this is it.
A nossa preocupação foi desenvolver uma arquitetura que reduzisse todos os custos para a manutenção do estádio, e isso ao longo de todo o tempo. Nas próximas Copas do Mundo, seu pai foi o primeiro a adverti-lo sobre o risco que lhe corria. Pantone chegou à casa de sua família com um carro cujo motor havia...
Am I right? Pantone.
Yep.
Pantone, that's you.
sido modificado por ele.
Listeners, he's not lying to you. Wake up. He's not lying. I thought this man was freaking crazy. No, he's not. He's in this documentary. Pantone.
He turned around, looked at me, and he said, "You're running on water?" "Yeah. You need the keys to my house, the gate, and the garage, and get off my property. I disown you." I said, "What?" "Okay. And anybody who knows how to run on water will be dead." Quanto faltava para que Pantone...
See? Yeah, you're not lying.
Yep.
Well, you got no evidence, and the thing is, it depends. What is true to people? That and they give me the face, or they look down on me. Oh yeah, they want us to believe what's in the book, but they don't want you to think outside the box. People think, "Oh, Chris, shut up, man. You're crazy. It's not real." I try not to lose it, man. These are good people. You know, they're cool people. They're smart people. They're not stupid. The ones I talk to. You know, I've showed proof. Yeah, Pantone is in this video. And it keeps their mouth shut, you know? What else are they going to say? Oh, then they're going to ask us, what do you want us to do about it? Tell everybody.
You know? Yeah. Well, you want donations? Nah. We give donations. We only give donations to Red Cross, Greenpeace, places that really do a lot of good with it. That's why none of the money hardly that ever went into Red Cross ever made it down to Sandy Hook or... what was the other one there? Haiti. Very little of that money actually made it where the money was
Sandy Hook thing
donated
doesn't
for.
make sense.
It went to people's new cars, houses, and inventory because we really don't want to give all that money to them.
Yeah, they wanna get a chance to like get away. So I've been told this, and not just by Wolfgang. I've had him on that people who were bribed to keep their mouth shut, etc. The Sandy Hook, they were paid $30,000.
Hold on. Hello. How much longer are we gonna go?
For a few more minutes. So they were told to keep their mouth shut, and they sued the school because they wouldn't be paid more. So they were paid $30,000, and they probably left the country right now. So it just doesn't make sense. People who gave like $1,000 or more, they could say, "Oh yeah, I want to find out the truth. I give a lot of money to donation." You know.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, yeah. So they were bribed for like paying $30,000. So like it just doesn't make sense. You know. But
yeah. Well, my house right now is at 42 degrees. I need to get the heat fit, and the sun's going to go down here in about a half hour. I've got to get to work on it. I thought we were only going to be an hour.
Oh,
so,
I wouldn't mind more, but if you have to go, soon, I want you to stay for a longer time. I can have you on again soon.
When can you do some more on the broadcast?
I'll let you know. I'll let you know that. I'll tell you the dates. Before that.
Yeah.
After I get off, I'll tell you dates. Because I'm booked for the rest of February. So do you have to go?
Okay.
Do you have to go?
Yeah,
now?
I do.
Oh, well, before you go, what do you want to say to everybody who's listening? Besides just don't try anything illegal.
Go to my website. Drop me a line if you want to do something with us. I'll give you the best guidance I can. If you're an inventor, there'll be a new website coming out here very shortly.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be just for inventors. We'll have it posted on our website.
Oh yeah, and something about like lawyers. You wouldn't tell me who. You don't have to tell me, but like, is there a way you can actually help like inventors also? In case anybody who's listening is an inventor. Oh, I want a lawyer or something. What do you have to?
No, I don't deal with lawyers. I deal with people. Too many lawyers aren't really people. They lose that when they start going to law school. Most of them kind of lose where they're heading.
So
But I do, guys. Tell them where to go. I tell them where to find the best advice.
No.
It's just my personal recommendation.
Yeah, and you gotta follow the law, just like slavery. So it's bad, but you gotta follow it in order for them to. Lincoln had to follow the slavery law. What else could he do?
If you also have a link, if you have a link to this show, I'll post it up on my website so people from around the world can come in and listen to it.
So what is the website besides geekfriends.net? Is it the GEET Institute?
Oh, my main website is GEETinternational.com.
Oh, GEETinternational.com. Okay, got it.
Yep.
It's a shame you can be on longer, Paul. I really this is deep crud we're getting into. So I want to have you on
well,
in a few weeks.
If I don't get my heater fixed in the next half hour, I'm gonna have to check into a hotel.
Then well, see you there. Then thank you for being on, Paul. Anyways, awesome having you on.
God bless. Bye.
This isn't over, the conversation. Damn you, time. This is not over. We'll continue the conversation in due time. Until then, you just gotta listen to what you've been told and just be like, wow, this guy is not lying. He's not freaking lying. It's pissing you off. Of course it's gonna piss you off. You're being suppressed. People are being killed for this. We're talking about life or death here. Talk to people. You gotta follow the law, but you gotta talk to people. You gotta talk to, hey, yo, check out this video. Try not to make money off of this stuff. So, try to keep it anonymous. Tell everybody about this stuff. I wish they could shut that place down. Utah State Hospital, where he was in, the mental hospital, they gotta shut that down. I wish they could do it, but it's only gonna happen if everybody peacefully, lawfully, legally can stand up and say no. Because the people are the ones that call shots. The people are the ones that run the country. Not offshore banks or Soros type people or Kissinger type people or Rockefeller type people or Jacob Rothschild type people. No. We do. We the people. We the people are the ones that run this place. We can't make it a corporation. It's only maintain your sovereignty, people. Can we please try to get out of this New World Order somehow? Please. For the sake of don't think about you, but think about your family. Think about the future. You want there to be a future, don't you?